Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round Table Let's Plays. I've just eaten, so some very horrible noises may come from me over the next amount of time we're recording. I, of course, am Tim of Not Another Reviewer, and with me is Geekosaurus Mike.
Привет. Добро пожаловать в Geeks of the Round Table Let's Plays. Меня зовут Geekosaurus Mike.
What?
Как проживаешь?
Okay.
I said hello, welcome to Geeks of the Round Table podcast. My name is Geekosaurus Mike in Russian.
Very nice. Very nice. See, this is the kind of talent we have here.
I love Russian because everything I say, regardless of what it is, sounds like a death threat.
See, this is the kind of talent we have. We don't have, like, fucking cut rate anything. We have very talented people in our roster. So, there you go. Fucking... I think, since that pretty much ended that... I have a little gripe against YouTube again.
Please inform us.
Okay, so I know we released the podcast that had a bunch of stuff about YouTube in it, but I realize now listening over that as we used it, I got a couple things wrong. And,
Tim, you got things wrong? My world is shattered.
Yeah, I got a couple things wrong. I basically accused YouTube of taking all of the ad revenue money and pocketing for themselves, but it's actually far more sinister than that. The companies that do the content ID claims are the ones that get the money, not YouTube. So, if they're like, we don't want you to be monetized from our content, we still want you to make our content so we can make money from it, but... yeah.
That's a system that might have sounded good on paper, but I feel like it's inviting a lot of people to spam content ID claims.
Actually, I'm glad you said that. I was actually going to go right into how Nintendo has a claim on a video that is as of yet unreleased, but as I remember, it isn't released. This video will be released after that one, so it's already released in, user years and viewer years, but in us recording years, this video hasn't been released yet, and it's caught the content ID match twice. And both times, the first time I took it down, I edited out the audio that it claimed to have, so there's like big empty spots of audio in it. And then it got hit again by another content ID match by Nintendo. And then at that point, I went to edit it again, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, they can have this one. It's like episode 23, or no, 22. It was episode 22. Of a running series, and they don't hit it until episode 22. So it's like, all right, whatever. Nintendo can have this one. But then
you win this time, Nintendo.
Considering we give you free advertising and apparently ad revenue, fucking, and then you said something about how people can just spam content ID claims. That's happened as well on two of our videos that I'm fairly certain already have released. I think this was a while ago. I just didn't address it because we were releasing the podcast with much of the same discussion. And basically what happened was this company called AdRev claimed content ID matches... Actually, let me just make sure something here. Okay. Claimed content ID matches on two of our videos. They were both totally unrelated. One was like the ending of Super Metroid, our finale episode of that. And the other one was The Legend of Zelda, like one of our Ocarina of Time episodes. And it was apparently, owned by content owned by AdRev, visual content at this point or whatever. And it was like, I don't know who AdRev is, but I'm pretty damn certain they don't own anything on the screen right now.
I would accept from Nintendo, but
Yeah,
that's roughly it.
Yeah, from Nintendo, I'm just like I'll try to take down the video and fix it, and if that doesn't do it, then whatever, Nintendo can have it, because it is their full right at this point. With how dodgy the laws are, they can basically say no, and it's theirs, so long as they leave the channel alone and let it continue to have the, privileges that it has, and don't put strikes on it and ruin it, which they haven't, so that's fine with me. Just so long as they don't do it to every video. Because doing these, I actually plan on getting more equipment to make this go smoother and better and, higher quality, because I know 360p is not ideal for gameplay videos of better nature than 8-bit and 16-bit, what we're doing. But I'd like to press it up to like newer generation, and you do not want to see that in 360p. It looks awful. I've done it before. I'm never doing that shit again. So yeah, there's news for you. Someday you'll get us doing gameplay from my PS3 and Xbox 360, or maybe even my Wii U, but not the way we've been doing it, because it'll look abysmal.
So you got that to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, the box that's compatible with Livestream to do that, though, costs like $500 fucking dollars, so there might be a Kickstarter someday for that sort of shit. Maybe. If we pick up enough subscribers, do you think that'd be in the cards? Have like a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so either... I mean, if we get enough... I'm just throwing this out there. If we somehow get enough revenue from the videos and the ads themselves, we'll do it that way, and it'll just be seamless. You'll just all of a sudden notice an upgrade in quality, and we'll just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Tee. I mean,
but in secret, we'll be wearing monocles and top hats while we do it.
Yeah.
Or at least I will be. I don't know about you.
I won't be wearing anything. I'll be so rich I don't even care about clothes. But I lost my train of thought with that statement.
Clothing is for the peasants.
Why in the fucking hell did I say that? But anyway. But yeah, basically, yeah, you're gonna see improvements over time. I know you haven't seen any improvements lately.
Prepare for us to ask you for money.
Yeah. Wait, what episode are we working on right now? I don't even know how fucking...
In fact, it's all been downhill since the beginning.
Yeah, it has. It really has, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to remember what episode we're actually even working on. Okay, now I remember.
I don't know, because when I write down the metadata, they're listed by date that we do them.
Yeah.
I think it's like around episode 15 or something.
Oh, of this, I was talking about overall. Overall, this is like the 95th.
Oh, I have no idea.
So because it's the 95th, there are certain things we can't say that we are doing. I don't know, do we have to be? Because, like, do we have to be secretive about it? Does it have to be a big surprise?
Yes.
Okay, so you're all ego raptor about it. You can't tell anybody until it happens. Okay, I see how that is. Because I'm more Danny Sex.
I have secretly implanted bombs at all of your brain stems, and if you tell people about it, I will detonate without question.
Oh, okay. Because, see, I'm more Danny Sexbang about it, where I'm so excited for people to know. And, so yeah, as of yet, you haven't seen any increases in quality or anything like that. Any changes, no changes have been made. In fact, we talked about how I just said, fuck number 88, I just let it go. At this point, I guess I'm going to have to change what's uploaded on the channel, because right now, it's still the edited version. So I kind of lied there.
Oh my.
Yeah. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it will. Oh, it will. In fact, when this is released, yeah, it won't be long now. All of our work will will bear fruition.
I still don't understand why the monsters wear clothing in this game.
Armor.
That's not any less baffling to me.
Well, that wolf wasn't really he wasn't really an animal. He was I think he was a wolf lord, which is like a lord of werewolves. And you know, like this monster doesn't wear clothes because he's a wyvern, so it wouldn't make any sense for him to wear clothes. Oh, and if you didn't know, ask me what our current objective is right now in this game.
Hey Tim, what's our current objective?
To raise 2 levels or we will fucking die.
Huzzah!
Because the last time we did this this game, it was with Zilla, and we fucking died. We died real good. Because right now I don't seem to be having any trouble with the monsters. Oh, that changes. That really changes.
The wyvern looks really weird to me. It looks like it has like a vulture head.
Yeah.
Like it just looks really derpy.
Yeah, he does, and his head's like pink, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like a flesh. I guess that is a vulture. It has more of a flesh-colored head, but he doesn't have any legs. What is a wyvern anyway?
I don't feel like this is a creature that would survive long in the wild.
Does it have a duck? Yeah.
It has no appendages with which to interact with its environment.
Except for a bill.
Does it just... I don't... Darwin's rolling in a grave somewhere.
Oh my god.
So before you got back to set this up, I went and got a glass of scotch.
Right.
And I looked at the bottle and went, there's only a little bit left in here. I guess I'll just finish it off. It turns out I severely underestimated the amount that was left in that bottle.
Yeah?
So I got a very large glass of scotch.
Nice.
So these recordings may get more and more interesting as time goes on.
Well, good then. I was actually only planning on doing an hour of Dragon Warrior, but now that you've told me that, we gotta do at least a little more of something else. I'll basically just go until you're done, because we'll get what we need and then a little extra. Because I actually want to have a good buffer, because, you know, everybody's busy. I know Matt's going to become intensely busy here soon. Getting Dave around hasn't been very easy. I see Zilla once a week. I haven't seen Joey in months. I'm starting to worry.
Joey, the thing with Joey is, as he always mentions in the Jomir Crew podcast and everything else he does, he is a high school band teacher, and in the high school he works at, he is basically the music guy. The reason he hasn't been around lately is because his school is doing a production of Peter Pan, and he's really the only staff member running it. Combine that with high school solo and ensemble contests, and he's at work from 6 in the morning to 8 p.m.
Wow. And he's probably greatly underappreciated, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fine arts teacher, so being a fine arts anything in U.S. education right now, especially if you're in Illinois, is not a recipe for massive success most of the time.
Yeah. Oh shit, I better pay attention. We could die right now. Okay, we're alright. I was just kind of letting things happen. I should probably not do that.
Someday we'll even get Kristen on one of these.
Yeah, that's... Did you see the channel? Oh, you haven't seen, Uh-oh. I almost let the cat out of the bag there.
I got my finger on the trigger.
I almost let the cat out of the bag. It's okay, though. You know what really works, though?
That's the cat
You know what's great, though?
leaving the bag.
The more we talk about it without actually...
What's that?
The more we talk about it without actually talking about it, if we had a viewership, that is, if we actually had people that watch these other than us for metadata reasons, we we would actually have people like, what are they talking about? I want to know.
Well, unfortunately, we cannot tell you about the licensed Geeks of the Round Table branded condoms are coming out with. Damn it!
Oh, man. I can't believe you told them. Now that's ruined. We're gonna have to cancel that whole line now. I'm not even gonna get my deposit back on that order. You know that, right?
We had an entire shipment of them that all had Josh's face on them.
I know! And this is why...
I was trying to think of somebody we hadn't mentioned yet.
Yeah. We're mentioning everybody. Yeah. Josh, Jesus. I told him what I wanted him to do, and he said he could do that, and then he hasn't gotten a hold of me since. I won't see him for another week, probably.
Well, I should be marginally less busy in the next 2 or 3 weeks because I'm kind of between sports seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, to stay ahead, we gotta take what we can get. I know we wanted Super Mario RPG to be full of people, but that would mean there would never be an episode released. Because there's never more than 3 people active on the Skype at one time.
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Yeah. Man, remember the times when we used to actually have time for this shit?
Such glorious days.
Yeah.
Well, summers are usually my big free time, which is hilarious because like the first summer after I started Geekosaurus Mike, I took like a 3-month hiatus.
Yeah. I've been taking way too many hiatuses as well. Not because it's just I'm. How exactly does one bring up their mental health issues without sounding weird?
I mean, I think it'd be a false stereotype to just label them all as weird.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the thing is, there's a difference between like things people say, like, oh, I have OCD, or oh, that makes me anxious, or oh, I'm depressed. Like saying that stuff and then actually being diagnosed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who say that stuff like as an excuse versus people who legitimately suffer an illness.
Because that's mainly what I'm trying to say is, because like, if I sit here and say, oh, well, it's because of my anxiety or my depression, I kind of sound like those people, but I've actually been to a doctor, I've been diagnosed, I've been on prescriptions that, don't really work, but, it's just... Yeah, it's hard. It's hard in this day and age with that sort of stuff being glorified too. I don't know.
I think that we're way too eager to. We're so eager to be like politically correct that even if somebody's saying it is kind of bullshit, you're not really allowed to call them out on it.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, we take... And I know it has roots in acceptance. Accepting people for their foibles and things the issues they have. But we've kind of flown past acceptance and started romanticizing that sort of stuff,
I get what you're saying. And it was always one thing that struck me when I was in college, because I was an English major, and I took a number of literature classes, and especially a creative writing class, where the professor really seemed to I found that a lot of like serious novelists and serious writers have a tendency to glorify depression and my I think my professor when I was in creative writing basically said, I don't like it when things are happy. Basically, I want everything to be miserable because that's what life really is. And I was like, no, fuck you. It's life isn't all misery, and I'm not going to fucking twist around my work to fit that viewpoint. And I don't know. It just the arts in general seem to try to romanticize going through hard times and being depressed.
And that's the horrible thing about it too, because it's like there's being depressed because you're sad for a reason and then getting over it because you just don't think about it anymore, and then there's being like depressed where there are days where it's like, I'm really proud of what I do and I have a lot of work to do towards it, but that's just not enough motivation for me because I just don't want to move. you know like I don't know how to explain it really. I mean, that's just the best way I really can. It's just like, it's not even the idea where you don't love what you're doing and you don't enjoy what you're doing and you don't get a great pride out of what you're doing. You're not trying to use it as an excuse to get out of, this thing that you don't want to do. These are things that you legitimately do want to do, but you just can't find the will to do them.
And if you're listening to this, if we do have a viewership and you do have a legitimate, disorder that you're trying to struggle through, just keep fighting at it. Like, it's don't give up on stuff, and for the love of God, don't hurt yourself over it because
No.
that's just not worth it.
That's the worst thing about it. Even that's getting romanticized now too. And it's like, these things are legitimate problems, and you don't need to go like you shouldn't have to.
You don't need to be a whiny Tumblr person and think that it adds a level of glamour or like mystique, I guess, to your life. Like, that's not what it is.
It's something that you need to seek help for. You need to speak to someone. You need to find a professional. Most general practitioners can get you started too. Like, if you have a family doctor, just talk to them. Because I know a lot of people, like, there's a stigma to mental health too. Like, there's one side of the coin where it's romanticized, and then there's another side of the coin where it's seeking help for it makes you weak. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And it's not like going to the shrink is your first option. Your first option is going to your general practitioner, talking to them. They'll probably try to prescribe you something, and then maybe you'll get a blood test, because that could be it too. Because, thin blood causes, tiredness, loss of motivation. It's a number of things. I'm not even going to pretend to actually understand it. All I know is, I'm one of the diagnosed. I'm one of the people that deals with it.
And if you feel nervous or anything about confiding in your doctor, like, what I always tell myself before I go in to see really any kind of medical professional is, this guy's been doing this long enough, he's probably seen infinitely worse than anything I can bring to the table. Like, call that a bad way to think if you will, but if that's what, like, gives you that motivation to confide in the professional, then do so.
Basically, he's not going to judge you. He's not going to, we're automatically assuming the doctor's a guy. Your doctor won't judge you. Your doctor is trying to help you.
Deal.
Because either A, they actually care about people and they do it for the job, or B, that's what they get paid for. So either motivation of, wanting to actually help people, or motivation of wanting money. They're not going to laugh in your face. So there you go.
If they laugh in your face, they know you're going to go see someone else.
Yeah. And they don't want that because they want your money. Or, they want to help you. Where was I getting? I was getting pretty cynical on this. I probably shouldn't. I should probably save the cynicism for, when we're done talking about this particular thing.
The point is, go get help because you're awesome and deserve it.
Yeah, and it doesn't make you a special snowflake that everybody needs to love because that's ridiculous.
Today on Geeks of the Round Table Heavy Conversations.
We're playing Dragon Warrior. We're playing Dragon Warrior, you're drinking. It's just pretty much the natural progression of things because we're most certainly not going to talk about the game. I mean, Jesus Christ, they haven't seen any new scenery for like what, 10 episodes?
True, I'm drinking like a coffee-sized mug full of just straight scotch.
So basically, whenever Mike here can't make out a single word, that's when we're gonna have to end.
No, straight is the only way I will drink hard liquor anymore.
Yeah, I think we actually had this conversation before.
Probably. And I was probably drinking scotch then, too.
You're making me want to drink. I actually have some in my fridge. Oh, we have a viewer.
Oh, hey, John. It's my friend John Nutter, who I call a variety of nicknames, such as Nutter Butter, Truck Nuts, and basically any joke I can make with nuts.
Yeah. So we got some new blood.
John, you look like a Jew.
What's up, John? That's
no. One of the first things I said to him when we became friends was that I saw his dad and was like, "Are you Jewish? Because your dad looks like the most stereotypical rabbi ever." But they're not. They're Nazarene, so. I felt like a jackass.
Well, wouldn't you feel like a jackass anyway, just saying that?
No, because a lot of it's just the way I interact with a lot of my friends is I just be a complete dick to them.
Okay. Oh, I gotcha. I'm catching what you're throwing. I'm never gonna say that again. Racist.
You smell what the Rock is cooking?
Huh. Yeah. Ooh, is that chicken and biscuits? Making my mouth water. I don't know what...
Have you seen the story of the Rock's? He stuck to a strict diet for 8 months and then did an epic cheat day.
Of course I did.
15 chocolate chip pancakes, 4 deep dish pizzas, and I don't even remember what his third meal was.
Yeah, and the great part about it was, the perspective on those photos. I've heard the expression arms the size of your head, but arms the size of 4 of your heads? Yeah, this guy's fucking big arms.
And the thing about The Rock is he has so much muscle that he's going to burn away the majority of those calories just maintaining his muscle mass.
Yeah.
His daily caloric intake just to maintain his weight must be absurd.
I just find it funny that everybody was making fun of The Rock for being the wrestler persona and just thinking he was douchey because of the way he acted as a wrestler. But then you got to meet Dwayne Johnson on several occasions and see him on TV and stuff, and he turned out to be a really chill dude.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot with professional wrestlers because they have to be so almost vaudeville levels of extreme in how they portray their emotions.
Well, yeah, it's basically.
Have you seen pictures of the Ultimate Warrior before he was the Ultimate Warrior?
No.
It's shocking how just a normal chill guy he looks like.
It's like a cross between cartoons, a soap opera, and, well, to be honest, with the Three Stooges, that's wrestling. That is professional wrestling, or at least that's what it was back in my youth. I don't know what it is now. Is it still pretty much the same, or don't you know?
I haven't really watched wrestling because the only wrestling I've been able to find is the ECW on Sci-Fi, and that's just god-awful. I've actually like done marathons of watching old wrestling matches on YouTube from when I was a kid because when I was like 7 and 8, I did not get into wrestling at all.
Yeah.
But like I can appreciate it more now, I guess, which is really weird because usually people grow out of it.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know
And
how
I'm just like, this is hilarious.
I don't know how I'd react to wrestling now at this age. Probably just I don't have time. Like I'd probably like it, but not have time for it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's the same reason that I don't, and I've mentioned this on Geekosaurus Mike before, so it's not like a shocker. I don't really follow comic serials because it would just take so much time and so much money to follow everything that's happening in all the different continuities that it's insane. So like occasionally I'll buy a series as it comes out in like a graphic novel format so I can just get the whole story. Or usually like what I know about superheroes just comes from movies and TV shows and other media that's not comics.
What I usually do is like I'll decide that I want to read this series of comics and just fucking bolt through the entire thing in like 3 sittings. I did that with Deadpool.
I do Yeah, I do really like the Essentials books that Marvel comes out with because those are basically just okay, here's the comics you need to read to understand the main continuity of Captain America or the Avengers or Doctor Strange.
Oh, dude, I legitimately read every single comic that Deadpool was in.
It's really weird because Deadpool started out as a Rob Liefeld creation and was nothing like what he is now.
Yeah. I just like how there were very few times.
Liefeld!
I like how there were very few times where he would actively step up as a hero, but there were times.
Oh yeah, there are some principles Wade Wilson has that he will always step up for.
Like if it comes down to preventing a large amount of people getting cancer, he will do it. Drop of a hat, no thoughts. He's gonna stop the big C.
If it involves like either abusing children or killing children, Deadpool will immediately stop being funny and murder everyone responsible.
Yeah.
Like he gets chillingly grim when it comes to children.